and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Chop Talk. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right over here, it's the Animaniac, Melball. Hello, Melball. How are you today?
I am doing great, Andre. I'm not happy that it's snowing yet again here because that means my trip to the gym tomorrow is going to be fun. But, they always are. Destroyed my back today. That was nice. Gym was very quiet for a Sunday, which is also very nice. So it was a nice chill day. Got to catch up on some wrestling, watch some NJPW. Got shows to check out on freaking NJPW right now. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing okay. No real complaints about it. Uh, I didn't sleep well last night. I maybe only got a couple hours, so about 5:30, 5:40 in the morning. I decided, you know what, I'm gonna get up and go to the gym, get an early morning workout in. Gym opens at 6. Just before I left my house, I decided to just check my phone. It's a Sunday, It's like I go to a leisure center gym in my town. There's no other gyms in my town, so I checked the thing. They changed the hours on Sunday to 10 a.m. It's Sunday. I understand. It gives the people the morning. I get it. I wasn't mad, but I'm like, okay, I'm glad I didn't leave.
It could have been worse, right? You could have showed up at the gym and been like very disappointed and angry.
Yeah, so I decided to. I went and put my head back down. And I slept. I had an alarm set for 10:30. I had to get up, get ready because I recorded with our friends from Sunday night's main event today for
Ah,
the big Sunday show. I was on the main show talking with Boris and Dex Xavier, previewing
huh?
Revolution, talking about Elimination Chamber, and we did
Mm,
a 45-minute to an hour post show tagged on for any Patreons that want to hear it, where they can hear us
mm.
just chit chat about the Wrestling Observer and a few other things in professional wrestling and just general stuff. Just three guys shooting the shit about wrestling.
Nice, nice. Sounds like a good time, my friend.
Oh, it very much is. It very much is. So please check that out over at SundayNightMainEvent.com. Or actually, no, you have to check that out through the Patreon.com/SNME Radio. That's Patreon exclusive for the bonus show.
Exclusive. I don't think
Exclusive.
that's a word.
Sure, we'll go with it. I haven't spoken French in years.
I will say it's like broken Melball, if it isn't a word.
But I did get my work in this afternoon. Feeling good, feeling sore,
Ah,
feeling my legs are dead. Worked a bunch of legs today. So, all fun stuff.
that is my life tomorrow. I am not looking forward to leg day.
You do leg day like every second day. Come on.
I sure do. I sure do, because this booty don't scooty, it doesn't grow. Why are you laughing at my analogy, bidgies?
I like it. That's why I'm laughing because it's funny and I like it. But we're not here to talk about us working out and all that other stuff.
Oh.
I like us talking about that stuff because I know some people tend to like rambling before people get into the stuff. I know Boris and Dax, I love their geek talk before they talk AEW. So, but yeah, we're here to talk some LPW. And this is a double shot of LPW because we are talking. We went to the Thursday night showing of the Clandestine
Mm,
Wrestling Society X Love Pro Wrestling show, and then
mm,
we attended on Friday. We attended the LPW 23 SlamBoat Willie show. So we're gonna get in there. We're
mm,
gonna talk some the CWS show first. So we're gonna just go over a few of the matches. Just it's a short
mm.
card, and we got a little bonus at the end of the night, which was nice.
Bonus.
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 So that kicked off T.Y. Jackson, Reid Matthews. You can't go wrong putting these two guys in a ring together. They're
Mm,
just both so good. They're just,
mm,
Ty. His everything he's doing is just insanely good. Um, Again, he was the reigning Triple Crown champion in Top Talent. Now he's the Scramble champion. He's just everything. And then Thickness is just evolving his game every time he gets in that ring. Just the
mm,
pure violence. I love that Orange Crush power bomb that he does. That suplex up into the power bomb looks so good. In the end, Thickness catches Ty's trouble, or he gets the knees up on the Swanton attempt, and then he catches the Trouble in Paradise and hit into the Blue Thunder Bomb, and Thickness is your winner.
yes. It was a nice way to start off the show. Again, this was my first time going to a Thursday show, Andre. Is this your first time, or have you attended other
I've
Thursday?
attended a couple before because I remember going to a couple alone. But like when I've gone in the past, I guess like Matt Underwood was there and a couple other
Mm,
people. And there's always people there that you know. And I always could
mm,
sit with people and chat with people at those shows. I think I've been 2 or 3 times.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was my first Thursday show, and it was very drastically different from the Friday shows. We did notice that the crowd wasn't as loud. It was very much a Japanese crowd, it felt like. They
Mm,
swelled at the parts where things happened and were very, very quiet otherwise, which was rather amusing because you could hear the commentary from Big Bad Boris and Dash there just going on. So
pretty
again, it was like,
clearly.
yeah, yeah, it was like almost scary to say anything. Like even a whisper could be heard in the rafters. It was pretty quiet.
Yeah. Hey,
But
that didn't stop me on Friday. Trust me, I was as loud as I possibly could be, and I was sitting right
yes, you
beside
were.
Dash.
Yes, you were. Yes, you
It
were. I was very happy that Kat was in between us. You and Nathan both very excited.
was a great show.
It was a great show, and we're going to talk about it. But this opener was a great way to set up for the rest of the show.
Mhm.
Again, as you mentioned, thickness just so good. He's constantly evolving, constantly getting better. Still thickness. But
Extra
T.Y.
thick.
Jackson, he's one of my favorites. At all the shows that I see him at, especially because he's just so good at what he does, as you said. Miss his music though. I mean, it still
Yeah.
slaps, but I miss Necklace.
Mm.
I guess now Rich King has the best music in Love Pro Wrestling.
He's always had the best music in Love Pro Wrestling. What are you talking about?
I put Necklace just a little bit above it. Sorry.
That remix of "Kiss by a Rose" is absolute
It
perfection.
slaps. Oh yeah, it's so good. But for me, Necklace just is just a little slappier. Just a little
Yeah.
slappier. Yep, great way to
All
start off
all
the show.
all about the slappiness. We move
All about the
on to
slappiness.
a no disqualification push up challenge grudge match. Michael Allen, Richard Clark, the man with the longest name in professional wrestling, taking on a Berat Gorani, my boy. Again, this was just doing some moves throughout, but just trying to tie the other one up and trying to do push ups. It seemed that Berat couldn't get past 4. He never got past 4 in a row in the entire
Did he make it
match.
to 9 at what point?
Did he?
He did
Oh,
on the
not till the end.
assisted. He
Not
did
not
on the assisteds.
yeah, not to the
He was
yeah,
on his knees.
I don't yeah, so like I said, he never got past 4 push-ups.
We'll say, well, okay. Okay, well, go with technicality on that one, I
Real
guess.
re, got no never got past 4 real full push-ups at
Sure,
least.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can go with that
Yeah. But again, fun little match, just comedy. Michael and Richard Clark getting taped to the post, and B-Rat's doing the push ups, and but he does rip the tape off at 9 and
one.
get and to break the because to get 10 push ups in a row.
Mhm,
B-Rat gets end getting pulled off the top into that swinging Death Valley driver that Michael and Richard Clark does, and
mhm,
he tapes B-Rat to the bottom rope on both his hands and his feet, and he gets to the 10 push-ups for the win. Again,
mhm,
just a great fun comedy match while still being
mhm.
really good athletically and built and working on with the story.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. It's like the comedy was second. It's a secondary kind of priority in this one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't have a ton to add to it. It was just really, really funny little match. I really enjoyed how they kind of did that quick start, just doing the
Mm,
leg sweep and trying to pump out as many push-ups. The setup for the push-ups was just so funny because these guys were doing it very seriously. They were taking this very, very,
hmm
it was important. Importante.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, Clark was the only one who didn't bitch out on his push-ups.
hmm
B-Rat fell to his knees a number of times. But, like, to be fair, I mean, both of these guys probably did. I mean, B-Rat probably between, like, I would say 20, 45 push-ups. Clark probably did,
50 plus.
yeah, I would say 40 to 60. So, like,
Yeah.
that's a pretty athletic feat in itself. So we'll let it slide a little bit, B-Rat, but, like,
Like there was one here, then two there, then three there, and it was just very
Yeah,
much. So
yeah.
they built up over time very quickly.
Very much so, yeah, yeah. It was a
Yeah.
fun little match. You're right. It was a nice little comedy bit. The crowd kind of came a little bit more alive for this one.
Hmm.
It was nice to see.
Very much so. It was a really good time. So we are
Mhm.
going to move on to the Clandestine Society. Michael, Richard, Blais, and TFA, Taryn from Accounting, taking on, as I like to call them, the Zoo World Order, Wolfboy, Will Mantla, and the Canadian Goose, Kyle Shaw. Uh, Last month, I was particularly mean on this show regarding TFA. And I said, I want to see her do better because I called her trash. And watching her on this show, I thought she really she upped her game. She was
Mhm.
laying everything in so strong. Thing seemed quite smooth, like a lot smoother.
Mhm.
Again, I don't I'm and maybe caught her on a bad night, and I was a little mean, but she was a lot better, and I really was impressed. Like her strikes, like were so snug and looked like they. She might have actually been hitting Goose in the face with these shots, for all I know, because he's very hittable.
Wow. Poor Goose. A
I
bit of a
love it.
dick.
I was honking my ass off for the Goose, and Michael
You
Richard
were.
Blaze was across the ring from him. That is my all-time favorite wrestler, and I was honking for the Goose and wooing
You were.
for Wolfboy.
A
So
wooing.
woo, ah, woo, ah, woo. It's not wooing; it's wooing. Like you're
Wooing. I love
woo,
how you said it though, how it just came out of you. I was a wooing.
wooing. I was wooing. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, you gotta woo for
Um,
Wolfboy. But in the end, they did the clandestine wrestling society was a little too much, and they hit
mhm,
a modified heart attack with the off the top blockbuster neck breaker off the top with the heart attack spine buster, and it was all over. On to Goose
mhm,
and clandestine society pick up the win.
mhm, mhm. What can I say about this? Really like that they came out to Wolfboy's music.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really like Wolfboy's music too. I
Mm-hmm.
think I just saw a promo from these guys, like not a promo, but like a video montage that Goose had actually just posted today of Wolfboy um, recently that
Mm, nice.
had Zoo World Order in like as a logo in there. So you're right on top of it there. Um, what to say? In regards to Taryn, yeah, she put on a hell of a show tonight, and we're going to talk a little, or on this tonight, and then the Friday night, yeah, we're going to talk about that. It also went equally well.
Mm,
Um, I don't, I don't know if you were rash though, because we have been dealing with what I would call a little less, as I said, underwhelming work up until this point.
mm,
Let's hope that it wasn't what you said that was the motivator. Let's hope that it's just the work ethic coming back out, especially
yeah,
based on what we saw after the show. So let's hope that it's a situation of that, and that we're gonna be getting this kind of Taryn consistently.
yeah. Because
Um,
again, I really,
yeah,
I still didn't cheer for her because I still don't
she's a
like her,
heel. You're not
but that's
supposed to.
and I'm not supposed to. I cheered for Blaze because I will never not cheer for Michael Richard Blaze. That is
Mm,
part of my DNA. But again, yeah, I very much enjoyed her night. And then Goose,
mhm,
I will always give props to Goose because I know where that guy started, um,
mhm, mhm,
and to what he's turned into is absolutely incredible. Like just
mhm,
if you know his journey, it's absolutely incredible to go from where he started to where he is now, and
mhm,
how good
mhm.
he really is in there. Wolfboy just killing it. They have a really cool tag team match that was like a sidewalk slam springboard leg drop combo that they did onto
Oh yeah, yeah,
Blaze.
yeah.
Goose with
Mhm.
the sidewalk slam and Wolfboy with the springboard leg drop. Looks so good.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
just so good.
yeah. I also
Yeah.
really like how Goose interacts with the crowd. He gets the crowd fired up when the crowd starts to go quiet. He's always interactive with the crowd. I think that's part of what he really does enjoy is that entertainment aspect of it as on top of being an athlete. So I really enjoy his work and how it is coming along. He's getting a little bit more sassy with the crowd too, which I really enjoy.
Yeah. And it was cool. It was a good, really good match to watch, man. I really had a good
Yeah,
time watching this one. We move
100%.
we move on. It's a triple threat match. 2-for-1. It's a 2-for-1 three-way dance. So you must pin or submit both opponents to get the win. So again, really fast, they end up wrapping Eli up in tinfoil, convincing him that this is going to protect him more from conspiracies, I guess, and or make him more unsusceptible to the conspiracies. And they each pin him and then toss him out of the ring. It was a great spot. Uh, Marz with a beautiful kneecap brainbuster to Zoe for 2. When Eli came back in and he hits the drop kick coming down and breaks the foil, and then the kip up fails. We're just, but again, it made it so much more entertaining. He go to kips up, and he almost didn't fall back. Kipped up, it didn't get us close. Didn't get us close every time, and then he just like rolled himself up. It was just he rolled himself to his feet. It was so good. It was just so good.
He's a funny wrestler. I enjoy his wrestling. He's like, for me, a better Yano.
Yeah, yeah, because he takes things seriously when he has to. Because Yano just does
Mhm.
everything goofy all the time.
Yeah.
Surge also gets a gory special on Zoe, and then a Boston Crab on Marz at the same time. And
Mhm.
Marz actually taps out here, so this is where Surge gets his pinfall over, or his pin or submission over Marz. So he has to do his finish
Mhm.
off here, Zoe. The end of the match still came. Eli hits a move to Zoe, but then Marz comes out of nowhere and hits a shining wizard to Eli in the face. And then he gets on top of Zoe and pins her 1, 2, 3. So Marz, the specialist, will, and this is also it's the number one contenders match for the
The
championship of
Ouija board title?
salvation. The championship of salvation, yeah. That
I
Stephen
called it the
Crow's.
Ouija board one. It looks like a little planchette.
Yeah, it looks like the triangle. I think honestly, it's kind of well. Again, it's similar to
I
their
like it.
logo, which
Mhm.
is inspired by that stuff. So
Yeah, yeah, I like it.
yeah.
That's spooky-ish.
Hmm.
Mhm. I don't have a whole ton to add to this one. You kind of got all the spots that I remember from it. I think in this one there was again a lot of crowd work from Surge and a lot of crowd work from Mars. Actually, he was being pretty
Mm,
sassy with people,
yeah.
which I like to see because like Seven for me was a little confusing. Like I know they're a heel faction, but they're kind of like an LIJ. They're pretty over with the crowd. There's a lot of
Hmm.
Seven shirts, and like Pride tends to be a dick, and Thad tends to be a dick, and the rest of them tend to be dicky too. But like
Well,
they're
TJ
over at the
Cannon,
same time.
TJ Cannon, the biggest dick of them all.
Sure, I mean, we haven't seen him in a hot minute either, but like,
No.
they are kind of like an LIJ thing. They kind of walk that line and sometimes
Mm.
they deviate to one side or the other, depending on if they're facing the Rads or if they're facing Clandestine kind of thing. It's interesting to see Mars pick up this win because of what ended up happening the next night too. So
Yeah.
we'll have a little bit more to converse about when we get there.
Yeah. Again, we'll talk about that when we get to that later in the show here.
Hmm.
So from there, we go to the the championship of salvation match. It is Stephen Crowe defending the title against Elliot Beef Boy, Elliot
Hmm.
Tyler.
Hmm. Mr.
Again,
Beef.
really, it was a brawl to start. They end up fighting into the crowd, and they end up near us. And
Mm.
Tyler puts the bell on Crow's crotch and just rings it and rings it and
Oh,
rings
that's
it.
what he was doing.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
not see that. You were in a better position than me to see that.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. They end up at the merch table, and they finally put it up on the Tron. So we saw, and Elliot spins a shirt and cracks it at it
Oh, right in
in
his
Crow's
face.
face. Oh,
Oh,
ho, 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 ho.
mean. I mean, at least it's dry, hypothetically, so it wouldn't hurt as much. But dang, rude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, really good match. Like both these guys are
Mhm.
insanely athletic. Beef for the shorter, stockier dude that he it is insanely athletic, and he missed the
Yeah.
moonsault though, and Crowe hits him with that tiger bomb into a submission. But Elliot Tyler had the ability to roll the submission up into a stack pin for 2. Like just great transitions. The end of it came. Crowe hit the forearm to the back of the head, puts the shirt over Beef, trapping the arms, and hits the good, the bad, and the ugly spinning fisherman neckbreaker for the win. Yeah.
I didn't know that's what that was called.
Every time I'm pretty sure that's the name, because he's set up for it before, and it's this time. And he really said it. He was setting up for the move earlier in the match, and he said, "It's time for the good, the bad, and the ugly," as he was setting up for the move.
Oh.
So I'm going with the fact that that's the name. That's, again, just from, I've confirmed it with any sources, but yeah.
We're gonna go with that. I mean, it would be a good name anyway. Makes sense, given the Western gimmick. Yeah. I actually really enjoyed this match. This was my first time seeing Elliot Tyler. And yeah, I actually kind of found I liked his interaction. Again, I'm gonna be saying that a lot because there was a lot more interaction with the crowd in these last 2 shows. A lot of interaction with the crowd from Elliot Tyler and Stephen Crowe. I got a little confused because I thought Crowe was a heel, and he was definitely more facey in this match. But you know how I like my clear definitions and less blurry lines in that kind of heel face line. Um, yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add to this. I just really enjoyed the kind of ride on this. That Tyler guy really, really fast, really, really quick.
Yeah, especially for
Yeah.
his build. He's a little bit of a beefier gentleman, and he's shorter. So like you don't expect to get what you get out of him.
And then he has this like really over the top personality to kind of go along with it that I think works out really, really well for him. Really enjoyed this match.
Heck yeah. So quick note, so the biggest reason I want to come to this show, the wrestling was an attraction, but it was this. I was Making Kayfabe, a documentary that was filmed last year, of Omar Mulem. I think that's how you say it. I'm bad at names. People that watch this podcast should know that by now. He came up. He was supposed to work with another company, he said, but he ended up working with LPW, and he trained with them for 12 weeks. And then at one of the LPW the Thursday shows, he came out as character, fake news Neville, just mocking professional wrestling. And it's set up for him and T.Y. Jackson to face off against TFA and Michael Richard Blais it was last year on the Thursday show in June. And I think very well made documentary. Got to get some insight on TFA, on T.Y. Jackson, on a bit of Michael Richard Blais. It was nice to just get some little behind the scenes on some local people. I know the Blais history, so nothing new came for me there. But learning about TFA, and she's been teaching for a lot. She's been a teacher for a long time, and because I know her sister is a professional wrestler in BC, and the fact that she was the wrestling fan, then her sister got into wrestling before her, was a very interesting factoid to learn about her. Yeah, and then learning that TY graduated from university last year, and yeah, it was just a cool little behind the scenes, and to see the grind he did to get to that point, and just that he had the passion. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a fun little movie and kind of gives you some insight into the process. I mean, there's a lot of information that goes into the process, but it gives you some idea of how it goes, how it starts, and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was told very, very well. Thought the filming was done very well. It gave some insight into all of the wrestlers, as you mentioned, but also a lot of insight into Omar and the things that he was going through to get to that point and the frustrations maybe that he was having. You could see during training, there was some points where he was working really, really hard, getting frustrated, but in the end, the match ended up being phenomenal. And
Yeah.
maybe we'll see him in the ring one more time.
Well, we the fans in the place were chanting one more match for him after the screening. So I hope he gets back, and I'd like to see him. Isn't that I don't think he's going to be at every week, every month wrestling, but to see him pop up once in a blue moon just to antagonize somebody and set up a match, I'd love to see that.
Heck yeah, I think that'd be great.
Maybe the June CWS show. Maybe when the 1 year anniversary, Fake News Neville makes his return.
Hey, hey, make it like a Brock Lesnar once a year celebration thing.
Yeah. So the information will be in our description below. It is on CBC Gem if you want to watch it, and if you're a lot of people might know his actual last documentary really well. It's the Lebanese Burger Mafia about the Burger Baron, and again that it got widespread acclaim. It's on Paramount Plus. I know it's on Paramount Plus here in Canada. It's on multiple different platforms around the world. Again, it's gotten great play. Omar Mulem, he did a great job with this one, and I hope it gets the respect it deserves, in my opinion.
Same.
And if you want to see it on CBD Gem, there is a free there's a free version you can watch. You just have to watch some ads throughout it, or you can pay. I think it's like $6 to get it for free. And then there's Chris Jericho's old TV show on there too. So
Hey.
Yeah.
Which one?
So then we went home and we came back the next night for LPW 23 SlamBoat Willie. Love it. I just love it. Tim hit it.
It's so cute.
It's SlamBoat Willie hitting Thickness.
Yep. Love it. Love it.
I love it so much. We kick it off with Thickness. It's Thickness, Reid Matthews versus the Northern Star, Evan Rivers. There's a great spot where they're locked up and Thickness gets him to the corner, and Rivers literally walks backwards up the rope and then jumps over, like arm dragging Thickness around.
Cool.
I loved it. This is where we first noticed a little girl in the front row who just didn't want to move on the dives.
I mean, you guys were just yelling at her to move, and I was just like, Darwinism. She wants to die, let her die.
It was great. And
she's
then,
in the line of fire. You're in the splash zone, and you're in the front row. You know that.
Anytime a dive would go to that side, I'd look at her because the faces she was making, like she was just
she was extra.
She was so good. It was so good to watch. Thickness with that rolling elbow to the back of the head, the Will Ospreay Chelsea grin. Oh, that looked like it killed, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to remember this match.
Yeah, Evan does this dive out of the ring to Thickness, who's sitting on a chair in the crowd, and then slides him back in, and then slingshot rolls himself back in, up into a cutter for 2.
Oh, yeah.
Tremendous.
Good.
This guy's just, it's so good with all their back and forth. Yeah, in the end, though, Rivers does that slingshot roll in again, but as he goes up into the air, he gets caught, and Thickness turns it into the Blue Thunder Bomb, and he gets the win. Again, incredible opening match. Like, the work rate on both his men is absolutely tremendous. Was this your first time seeing Evan, or have you seen him before?
No, I've seen him before. I've seen him, I think, in one of the Scramble matches.
Yes.
When clown girl that you liked was here, Tara Zep.
Oh yeah, Tara Zep. Yeah, Tara Zep.
Yeah. He was, I believe, in that Scramble match as well. I really like his entrance mask. That cool little techno lippity bop lip flipper thingy majiggy. I like it.
The ELP style mask, as I like to call it.
Sure, it does look very Bullet Clubby, doesn't it?
Well, it lights up like ELP's jacket does.
Yeah, that's true. It was kind of blinkety blinking, yeah. Yeah, I really like the look of Evans, the mohawk thing, and the purple. Obviously, I like purple gear. I thought overall he was so good. Of course, we love Thickness. He can heal it up all he wants. Much like you with MRB, I'll always cheer the Thickness. Yeah, very authoritative win though from Thickness. Great transition into that finish. And he got a promo afterwards too, Andre. Let us know What happened?
So Thickness cut a promo talking about he's running through everybody, he's the best in here, and he gets interrupted on the Tron. The pre-recorded message from one former Dark Order member and TNA superstar, Alan Angels. Used to be number 5 in the Dark Order, but Rock just killing it in TNA right now. And he cuts a promo. I'm pretty sure he called Thickness ugly at one point, and just making fun of him. And then it says, "I'll be there on March 26th." And this is where the crowd started like laughing because he got the date wrong. It's March 29th.
I
He's gonna
mean,
show
it's
up.
a multiple of 3, you know, it's
He's
no
gonna
big
show up
deal.
on a Tuesday.
Hey, I mean, maybe he can just chill, see what, Edmonton has to offer. Avoid the stabbings, maybe. But like, in which point, maybe avoid them all. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, this is going to be an incredible match, and what an opportunity for the Thickness, because usually we see Zoe or MRB or Stephen Crowe turn from accounting then in those situations of taking on the names. Now we get to see the Thickness, see what the Thickness can do. I am so excited for this. So
Yeah,
excited for this.
me too. It's going to be an incredible match. We'll
Heck
talk
yeah.
about We'll talk about this along with some other stuff more at the end of the show.
Hmm.
Move on, tag team match. It's Power Lira, Sheik Akbar Shabaz, and Berat Gorani taking on the Milky Way Wrecking Crew.
Hmm.
Eli Surge and Elliot Beef Boy Tyler. Um, Beef Boy and Berat having a kip up off. Uh,
Yeah, if we could call it that. They
it was
tried. They
I
tried.
B-Rad had no issue
No
doing his kip
problem.
up. And then like Elliot Tyler calls Eli in to go again, and Eli like helps him kip up. And then he leaves, and then you're yelling at him. He's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. He was never here," and like playing it up like it's a conspiracy. So good.
John Cena, you can't see me.
Yeah, he said you can't see him. It was so good. There's a point in the match where they end up in the Eli and B-Rat end up going through the curtain, and because he's trying to
Oh
get the
yeah.
hat on B-Rat, and he comes back out, and B-Rat's like all in a trance because he's no longer being bombarded with all the messages of all the conspiracies, so he's thinking clearer than he ever has.
I think what happened though is we saw back insight into the spaceman.
Mm-hmm.
Spaceman was back with the pixie sticks.
I think his brain his B-Rat brainwashing was cleaned out of him for a minute, and we got the spaceman back. But no, Sheik pulled the hat off, and he got him back. But again, really good
Mhm.
match. Beautiful double high cross by Eli to both members of pair of Lira. Um, uh, the leg lariat heart attack by Paralira to Beef for 2. Beef ends up crotching Berat up top, but Sheik ends up choke slamming Beef off the second rope as he's going for a suplex. Eli then hits a splash to Sheik, and then Berat hits a splash to Eli. Just crazy back and forth, man. And
Mhm.
and then Berat comes off the top with a dive, and or again, it was off this dive that he did of a dive, and then Eli just kind of rolled him up for the win out of nowhere. Um, yeah, and finding out the news after the match, his finger was completely out of place. He jammed it on the dive, and it was like he said it was poking, like the bone was like it was like out of place and was poking like weird and up, and they had
Oh,
to like pop it back into place. Oh, ah.
I mean, as a pole dancer, this is kind of a regular occurrence for me. Yeah, I kind of toss myself about. I've done this with fingers and toes all the time. You just kind of get back into place and it's good. It don't feel nice,
Mm.
but like, don't worry, be right. Once it like dislocates and relocates a few times, it doesn't even hurt.
That's troubling to me.
Mm, I mean, your body gets used to the pain, right? Such as life. Um, really enjoyed the matchy with the Milky Way Wrecking Crew, the combat bottoms and stuff. I would have liked to see Surge wearing his alien kick pads with those, but
Oh yeah.
I still liked the matchy. It works,
Mm.
especially with Team Chippendale finally kind of matching there now.
They're both wearing
Um,
ties. They're both wearing ties
yeah,
now.
they got the matchy ties, and they were on for a lot of that match, if not the whole match.
Whole
Pretty
match.
impressed with that. Yeah,
Mm.
really impressed with that.
Yeah.
Um, really like I always have to shout out Sheik's running, jumping European uppercuts in the corner. He was doing them from the half mark again, which I love. So good, so good.
Mm-hmm.
And he did two in a row, which was like
Mm.
serve. Loved it.
Yep.
Love his sparkle boots too. The glitter boots are just giving me life. I love seeing that professional gear.
Does he have like the best like gear game in LPW? Like,
Hold
arguably
on,
he
let me
does,
think.
with all the sparkle, all the ties, the sparkly pants. He might.
For his gimmick, I would say the only one who might give him a run for his money would be Stephen Crowe.
Yeah. Again, like when he's in his pink or his red and gold. When he's in his black, not so. It was
Well, he's a heel. The black would make the most sense.
the black and white, not as much, but like his pink and his red and gold one we saw on Thursday. Yeah, for
Mm,
sure.
yeah. Yeah, I would say that Crow would probably be his only competition in that because everyone
Mhm.
else, like, uh, yeah, no, I think you're right. I think
Yeah,
you're right. Sheik Akbar has the best gear, yeah.
yeah. Again, there's only one challenger. That's it.
Yeah, well, I was trying to think. I was like, well, maybe. I mean, Jack Pride's gear is pretty good, but
Still
it's not
not
as
those
good as
two.
Sheik's. Yeah.
It's still not on Crow or Sheik's level. That's the thing.
No, not quite, but that would be the next closest one, I think.
Probably.
And then
Anything
T-Bar.
else on this one?
No. I really enjoyed this one with the sass too. I mean
Mm.
that Elliot is very sassy. Surge, he has this like ability to kind of portray stuff without even talking. He's a very good showman in that. I really like this Milky Way Wrecking Crew. I hope they come back.
I still think back to the days when I met Eli Surge when he was training with Lynn Storm, and
Oh wow.
like one of the nicest guys in the world when I met him. And we became friends at that point, and we lost touch over the years. But man, I'm
Mm.
so happy for the success he's having and
Mhm,
how good really is, and it's just so
mhm.
nice to see.
Yeah, very entertaining. Very like he comes off almost aloof with the
Hmm.
character, and I think that's what I love about it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We move on. Third match on the Friday show. It's for the LPW Challenge Championship. It's Zoe Sager defending against KC Spinelli. So weird note, I got our friend Eric, buddy Eric
Mhm,
Graves. Um, we um, we I got him to sign. I got Casey Spinelli to sign his PWI this month, and or his PWI 250, the women's 250, and she's in like 264. Taryn's at 150 or so, and Zoe's at 67 this year. I think she's down one spot from last year or something, or she's right around the same area she was last year. Yeah, kind of crazy, but yeah,
very much so, yeah, it's very interesting to see him.
mm-hmm.
But it shows you who's busy and who's not, who's working more, who's not, right?
And again, who's working some certain, because like I know Casey was part of that Wrestle Academy last year with Keflon Hayes and Bobby Sharp and a bunch of other
Mhm,
people. So again, she did some high profile stuff last year. But again,
mhm.
I guess it's a lot about your win loss record too. So
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
yeah, just Zoe's fire in this. Like she's just railing on Spinelli throughout the match, just throwing
Mhm,
everything she has into every shot, every strike, every forearm, every strike she's throwing.
mhm.
Spinelli though, that gory special that she did when she got her on her back and then slammed her out with that gory special slam.
Oh,
I love that move.
so good.
I love that move. Beautiful haluva kick by Zoe in the corner, and then she gets that face wash running boot, and she gets a 2 count. Spinelli slips out of the electric chair, hits the spear, but she's delayed on getting the cover, and she can only get 2. They're going back and forth. They start trading roll ups, and Zoe gets the jackknife pin and gets that win out of nowhere. But again, it didn't seem as illogical as a tag match. But dude, it was great. Just she rolled her up. She couldn't get her done with her finish, so she's like, "Gotta get the jackknife."
Mhm. I actually looked away at the finish. I was talking to Kat, so I didn't actually see the roll up.
Oh,
I heard the ding ding ding. I
yeah,
was like, "Oh, well, dang."
yeah,
Um, yeah, this was very, very fast-paced match. Actually really enjoyed this. Um, this was actually my first time seeing Casey Spinelli live. I hadn't seen her at a live show before. Seen some of her stuff online though. I really enjoy what I see. Um, yeah, very bubbly, very like again, active with the crowd, really getting the crowd going, getting the crowd pumped, which worked out perfectly because like Zoe was also trying to be a little bit more heely, yelling at the crowd, which works out. Um, I'm liking Zoe's heel work better than her face work.
hmm
Still needs some work, but it's coming along. She's somewhat less like a chipmunk, a little bit more intimidating.
yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, very, very solid in-ring performance from both of these ladies. I really, really enjoyed this match. And I really have to say, I love this title. This, I think, is my favorite title on this company. Just
Oh yeah.
looks the best. I'm not really a fan of the other ones.
Well, again, and the lineage of this title goes back to the days of the Love Pro Wrestling's prediction shows,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
with Chris Parrish and Spencer Love doing the prediction
Mhm.
shows back in the day. So Spencer Love is part of the lineage of this belt.
Well, he did create it also, so yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I find it
Very
funny.
cool.
Just
Anyway, I do like the look of this title a lot better, as I said, in this company. The
mhm.
Grand Championship are kind of a little flat for me.
Yeah,
And the tag titles kind of look like vinyls.
they're giant pennies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They look like a disc you can toss.
pretty much, pretty much. All right,
Mhm.
we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk.
Just
It's
looking at the
the
titles.
LP. There's a look at the title, the big round pennies. LPW Tag Team Championships. It's Ride or Die, TFA, and Stephen Crowe taking on the
Mhm.
Sinner and Saint, Travis Williams and Judas Icarus. Boy, howdy, did this match go? Okay, and everything is on. Was it IWTV now? Independent
I
Wrestling
think
Television.
so.
And yeah, I highly recommend going over there and checking the show. Sign up for the you can. It's more of like you sign up for the network and you get all the programming on it. You're not buying individuals.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's like a subscription based. I think it's I don't know what the price is, but again, this match like Travis Williams, Judas Icarus, they're just again both graduates of the Lionsgate Dojo, Nicole Matthews and Artemis Spencer's school. Both just tremendous professional wrestlers. So crisp, so tight on everything they do, and they beat the living piss out of TFA and Crowe throughout the match.
Yeah. I made an interesting connection. I think I only told you about one. I'm going to assume it's Sinner, which was the Icarus, the dark one with no shoes.
Yeah.
Um, Very much gave me Drilla Maloney vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very intense, very aggressive. But I feel like the Satan Center were working face in this one. So despite that intensity and that aggressiveness, he was able to figure out a way to make it facey.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked really, really well in combination with Williams, who gave me very much so TJP vibes, very much as his name, the professional insinuates, very crisp, very educated, very experienced with his moves, but always maintained this aura of calm that I feel TJP is just expertise at. So the combination for me, it felt very United Empire. And you know how much we love United Empire. I mean, the flag is hanging above your dang head. Um, so I'm not surprised that we were as big of fans of these two as we ended up being. But yeah, holy heck, did they beat the heckin' crap out of Ride or Die. Um, I really enjoy the intensity that Icarus does. I think you've mentioned this in our Purasu review that Gabe Kidd does, where he bounces chest first off of the
Travis does
ropes.
this. Travis has a couple of those in his repertoire too.
Yeah, yeah, he did, and we saw it a couple times, but not nearly as much as Icarus did in this
Mhm.
one. It was like every there was about 5 or 6 times that he pulled that off. Uh-oh, I'm gonna sneeze.
I don't know why I find it funny watching people sneeze.
At least you didn't hear it. I made it to the mute button in time.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. What do you have on this one, man?
Yeah, so there's some great spots. Beautiful. This inverted X-plex. If you would know Pete Dunne's, where he lifts the guy out, or Moxley, where they suplex the guy up and then they just let him go. Icarus did it inverted style, and they came down like on their face. It just looked. It was on Crowe, came down his face. It looked great. Yeah, dude. Travis hits this beautiful superplex off the top to Crowe, and then uh, Icarus comes flying off the top with this beautiful frog splash, but TFA
Mhm.
breaks up the pin. Crowe gets a poison Rana to Icarus. And TFA spears Travis. Then Crowe hits a super kick to Icarus, and TFA plants it. I can't remember what the move was. She plants him with a move and gets a 2 count. Just great sequence there. The team back and forth strikes where they're standing there, just like both members of the team just beating the piss out of each other. There's a head like an angel, like a pinche loco. Like Travis went to pinche loco, and I think Icarus hit the super kick and just crushed Crowe, but Blais ended up pulling the ref out there. Um, in the end, though, after a title shot from TFA to Icarus, they hit the flatliner gory special combo to Icarus for the win. Um, yeah, just incredibly good match. After the match, Crowe's rolling around. He comes behind us and goes, "Yeah, look what I got!" It just like just being a dick to like people in the crowd, and I was just like, "Yeah, he's a dick." And then he gets up on the turnbuckle, and you're on the phone. You were texting somebody. He's like, "Who are you? What are you texting?" Or he said something
Why
to
are
you.
you on your phone? What are you doing on your phone? I'm texting people who are more important. I was
And he,
texting, I was texting my friend Son of Irish, who I was missing this
yeah.
night.
Yeah,
So,
really disappointed he just hasn't been booked on LPW. Hopefully they get him back soon. I really do.
mhm,
Would love to see him. Spencer, bring him back. He's a really good wrestler. We love seeing him.
mhm. Um, do I have
But just
anything else I want to say on this one? I liked that there was a clear Healy thing happening now, finally. Like the Crow of this night versus the Crow of the night before was very distinctively heel.
mm-hmm,
And I need that continuity to continue.
mm-hmm,
Um, but like, I'm sorry to say, man, your boys are getting very House of Tortury. There's shenanigans that are happening too much. Essentially, I'm seeing a little dick running around with Garrett choking people out. Not
mm-hmm.
liking it. Um,
Yeah, neither.
so I don't know. I mean, it makes for good entertainment. I mean, it's very obvious right now that Clandestine are the big heel group in the company. Kind of gives a challenge for Seven also to step up a little bit and be a little
Mm-hmm.
heelier. So that works out anyway. But as you said, this match, ah, so good, so
So
good.
good.
I'd love to see this again.
Oh heck yeah! Like
Heck yeah.
I want to see Center and Saint back. These two are absolutely incredible. They need to come back.
100%.
Yeah, so we move on. After intermission, we came back with the LPW Scramble Championship match. We had Amir Jordan versus El Asesino versus Marz the Specialist versus Dean Richter versus Jack Pride versus your champion, T.Y. Jackson. Um, just crazy match. A spot I got to talk about. Ty does a dive onto Marz and Pride on the floor. and he ended up booting a kid in the head, not the little girl, but another kid. He ended up hitting the little kid. The kid seemed
Yeah.
fine afterwards. I don't think it hurt him too much, but he caught him with his boot to the kid. It was pretty funny.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I am that asshole that laughs when kids fall down. So,
Yeah, me too.
like, for me, that was hilarious, but even more hilarious was the little girl you had mentioned and the look of trauma on her face after that happened. She did not hesitate to leave her seat after that point. You put the fear
Mm,
of God in her, and it was righteous.
yeah, or she got out of the way when she had to. That was the other
Yeah,
thing.
she was out of the way before you could set up the move. My goodness, that girl was just, gone. It was
Yeah,
funny.
great Tower of Doom spot with Dean and Asesino powerbombing Amir and TY, who are suplexing Pride. They had Marz, but he slipped out
Yeah,
to not take the brunt of that. I don't blame
not
him.
once, but twice.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Just great. Pride with that that rocket that hit like Julia hits her. She just runs and just like jumps and
Oh,
boots somebody in the face, like that running
yeah.
boot to the face, like jumping boot to the face. Looks just
He did that
brutal.
on TY, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he goes up and hits the top rope double stomp, but El
Oh, yeah.
Asesino ends up breaking him. It was over there if it wasn't for Asesino. Um,
Mhm.
yeah,
Me
just
recognizing that I'm spelling his name wrong in the description. I did not know that I put too many S's. Uh-oh.
I have that too many S's in my written too. Ha. Okay, interesting. Where I have it written. Yeah.
Well,
Asesino with the pop up power bomb to Pride. Then Dean ends up breaking up the pin of his partner getting a pin. And then
mm,
Mir hits that double rolling code, like rolls in, jumps up, and hits a double code breaker or double, like, yeah, because it's the need one, need the other. Hits a double, like, or
oh,
double
yeah.
MX, whatever you want to call it. And then Marz comes in and hits Amir with the TKO, but then Pride stops the Marz's pin. Um, just crazy stuff. TY kicking both a 7, drop kicks him in the corner, hits the double O face or the eclipse if you're nasty. 2-7, but he only gets 2 on Pride. TY falls up, the swerve house call kick to Pride and hits the swanton on Pride for the win.
Mhm, mhm. Um, I don't have a ton to add to this. You kinda got all the big spots that I remember.
Mm,
Um, it was interesting to see the partnership because obviously 7 kinda has each other there, and now No Ass Man and Dean Richter are all like, they're a little buddy system there too, but there was obviously confusion happening in both those guys. Amir and TY just kinda doing their thing and having fun. Um, yeah, I don't really remember a whole ton more other than what you'd said, but I did enjoy, oh, Thad. I really liked Thad's suit, that
oh,
holographic scale.
the silvery holographic look. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, yeah, that was a good suit. It was nice to see something besides the money suit because I know he's the greed part of 7, isn't he?
Yeah, but just wear any flashy suit and it proclaims greed. Don't worry.
I was gonna say just wearing a suit in general. It doesn't matter what it looks like. But it was nice to see him wearing something other than the dollar sign one. I liked the little change up. Didn't we see him get yeeted around at some point too?
I think so. I didn't write it down though. I'm sorry.
I'm just also not very good at remembering things. So there was a lot going on. These scramble matches, though, are definitely one of my favorite things to see in LPW. They're the match that I really look forward to the most, besides whatever
Mm,
name is usually coming. Um, just because everyone that they usually have in them is just so freaking good at making everything make sense. I love the glorious chaos with the glorious chaos making sense.
mm,
And these scramble matches always make sense. I love
they,
it.
they really do.
Um, take us into the promo thingy that happened afterwards.
Yeah. So post match, we got uh this little thing of like Pride and Marz kind of getting into it about like because Marz was the one that cost Pride the title last month because Marz got pinned by
Mhm.
TY. And then they're kind of mad at each other. It seems to be breaking down. They're shoving each other. Then in the end, though, they do hug. Marz still looks dejected, even when he's doing the 7 thing. He still looked
Mhm.
pretty dejected about it. So again, we'll
Yeah.
see what happens going forward because
We
two
even saw
straight,
Jack.
yeah,
Jack made an appearance.
he was the one that said sorry. But
Mm.
2 straight months of no TJ Cannon with 7, and they're imploding. So, as much as we hate on TJ Cannon, is he
We?
the glue? Okay, I hate on TJ Cannon. Um, is he the glue that holds 7 together?
It appears. It
It's,
appears that he may be.
he
Um,
might be. They need
that's
their glue back.
which one is he? I know each one of them is something different, right? Sad is greed, pride is pride. Which one's
Uh,
Mars?
I don't.
Wrath? Was he Wrath?
Deadly sins.
I feel like he's
If,
Wrath.
if you know the history of professional wrestling in Alberta, Wrath is long gone at this point.
Well,
um, there's gluttony, lust and fornication, greed, sorrow, despair, despondency. Oh, I guess there's 8, I guess, according to Wikipedia. What the fuck?
okay. We're gonna get too far off topic here. This is
I'm gonna,
something we'll have
I'm
to
gonna go.
research
I'm
and
gonna go that uh uh
he's a ginger ninja. I'm going to assume that Mars is Wrath.
yeah, I'm going with Wrath,
And
and then TJ. I'm gonna go with Sloth.
isn't that his cat?
Huh?
That's Pride's cat.
I don't know. I thought okay. Then
We're way off
then
topic.
TJ's
So,
gluttony.
oh my God. Okay, so okay, yeah, the gluttony is the one holding everything together. Makes sense because food brings everyone together.
It does.
Yeah. Now that we've gone off on that tangent, and I still need to shovel my driveway. Yeah, he TJ clearly is the glue that's holding 7 together. We'll see if they implode next month if TJ's not there. Because if he's not there, maybe there's truth to this.
Very possible. We move on. Semi-main event of the evening. It's Jared Rogers versus Michael Allen Richard Clark, the man with the longest name in professional wrestling. Uh,
Mhm,
Jared slaps Clark early, firing him up, and again, really
mhm,
great athletic back and forth with these guys. And Rogers getting the monkey flip to Michael Allen Richard Clark. Um,
mhm.
beautiful springboard cross off the second by
I
Mark for
love that.
2.
Mhm,
Mark catches the Jared Rogers dives into a hard slams, but Jared actually blocks the push up. So I was like, nice. Um,
mm.
and then the move you and me were like, oh, in this match, that Jared Rogers springboard sling blade.
Oh, yeah. So good. So
Yes,
good. My first gold star of the night. I
dude,
was proud of that.
that was so good, dude. So
Yeah.
good. And then the end of the match, though, Michael and Richard Clark hits the Claudioplex into the ring, and then the 10 push ups and the rolling Death Valley driver, I'm not sure what he calls it, for the win.
Mhm, mhm. Um, yeah, that boinky boinky crossbody that Clark does, one of my
Mm-hmm.
favorites. So crisp, so good. Boinky boinky's pretty good on those ropes, which are usually pretty loose. I always worry when he does that Claudioplex too, because that rope banks down pretty low. But tonight,
Mm-hmm.
no problem. He just yeeted him pretty good. Um, this was, and I like saying this about the people who are just starting. This is the best I've seen Rogers. And I think I've said that before,
Mm-hmm.
which is good because that means he's getting better and better and better. But that shoulder taped up, that's a problem. Hopefully, it's not a problem. As someone who has dislocation issues with the shoulder, I highly recommend strengthening the shit out of that thing if you
Mm-hmm.
can. Push ups, best guy to learn from. Um, no, I mean, I have to do 200 to 300 push ups a day to protect the shoulder, and it still dislocates. So, like, start your stuff now.
You do
Protect that shoulder.
300 push ups a day?
Yeah, no, throughout the day. It's not like it's a one-time banger danger. Like, I'll do 50 at the gym and then like 50 more at lunch. Yeah, dude, that's
Jeez.
how do you think my shoulders look the way they do?
I don't know, lots of shoulder presses. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I do. I do a lot of variations. We're getting off topic again.
Yeah,
Great match.
great match. We move on. Main event of the evening. I'm not going through this whole thing because
Wow.
this was an incredible match. Like, just what's the wow about?
It's so white.
I know it's
They
weirdly
look
white.
like Casper.
I know it's weird.
You can't see any definition on Rich. He's like supremely defined. What the fuck?
I don't know this again. I got this from Spencer, so he sent me all the
Jesus.
graphic. I asked him for the wide graphics, and he sent them all to me. So
Well, thank you, Spencer.
thank you
Why are
very
you guys
much.
so pale?
Yeah, I think it's just the way the color palette swapped and the pictures that they used. Probably
He
it
matches my
it bl-
shirt.
it probably blew them out or something. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like this was an incredible match from both men. Again, I've always said this: Blais is my favorite wrestler of all time, like bar none. But Rich is my boy. He's my trainer. He's helped. He's got me into a comfortable 4XL. I'm working my way down to
Yes.
3. I've got to go through my bin of shirts and get out all my 4XLs now. Start wearing those. Some
Mm,
more things. Um, but just incredible back and forth from this man. Just they fought up into the crowd. They're going everywhere, beating the piss out of each other. Rich, so they're on the stage, and Rich tosses Blais over a table lengthways into the floor. And as Blais gets up, Rich goes running and leaps the table, crashing onto Blais on the floor. Just crazy spot.
They went
Crazy.
all the way to the wall on that one.
Yeah. And earlier in the night, that same table, Amir parkoured over it. Like he went on, like hands onto it and hopped himself completely over it
Oh, yeah, yeah.
on his entrance. Yeah. Like just crazy. But
Mhm,
it was just insane. That spot was crazy.
mhm,
Just both beating the piss out of her. Rich with that final beat DDT and then gets the Falcon Arrow for 2. And then gets the Northern Lights rolled into the Texas Cloverleaf, but Blais getting to the ropes. Just these guys, Blais getting a sharpshooter, but with a Fujiwara armbar included in it. Like just
mhm,
incredible stuff, man. Rich
mhm,
with that vertical leap to the top and belly to belly suplexing Blais off the
mhm.
top. Just he hits the 867 driver at one point, but Crowe gets Blais's foot onto the ropes and uh Ben hit 3, but he's like, nope, no, 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 no. And he said the foot was on the ropes. And I was like, you bastard. I was like, God
Damn
damn
it,
it.
Ben.
But it was like, I was also like, oh, thank God at the same time. Like it was my war of inside of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
you were suspiciously quiet during this match. And I was like, it's probably because you don't want to let down MRB, but you also don't want to give Rich a reason to make you do 10 more burpees.
Okay, so the last time I cheered against Michael Richard Blais was the first time he faced Cody Rhodes, and he gave me this look of of pure disappointment that almost killed me inside. Because again, I'm his biggest like one of his biggest fans, and he gave me this look of like really him, and
It's Cody Rhodes.
I, ne-
Yeah, but really.
I never want to see that look again from Mr. Blais. And Rich, I didn't want him to destroy me even worse on Thursday in the gym. So I had to
This
make
show's
the choice
coming
of
out
just,
before Thursday. Something tells me he's going to kick your ass anyway.
but no, but both were incredible in this match. And it was just amazing. In the end, though, Blais takes a beer can from Larry, who's on commentary, ends up hitting
Fucking
Rich.
Larry.
King Larry hit Rich in the head with it. Uh, and then Blais hits a super kick and the final consecration, aka the toasted bagel, for the win. And then after all the rads are out and they're brawling with the clandestine society, Larry runs them off with a crowbar. Um, let's go to the match first, and we'll talk about the post and all the other stuff that
Mhm.
came out of this.
Yeah, this was such an emotional roller coaster because, like, it started off with Blais pretty much beating down Rich for a while there, and then Rich came back for a bit, and it was great. Michael came back, Rich came back. It was a tremendous back and forth. There was a lot of points where I just didn't know who was going to win this one. It was all over the place. Again with the shenanigans though, and it makes sense. It's a championship match, but like it's House of Torture, smelling dicky. I don't like the smell of dicky. Anyway, fucking Larry. What's with fucking Larry? Oh, fucking Larry. He's a great wrestler. The fucking Larry is a term of endearment. It's not a derogatory thing in any means. But Tops TY his shot at this title by stealing that contract opportunity. And then he won. Then he lost. And now he costs Rich this opportunity because if he wasn't standing there like a doofy with a beer, Rich wouldn't have met said beer close up, face to face. I don't know. We're seeing a lot of problems forming in these tag teams, except for Clandestine, who House of Torture. It's sad to see the teams starting to have these issues, but I'm curious to see how the stories kind of go, because this is what I love about LPW is their stories. They actually have them, and they're even though they're a monthly show and there's a month long in between there, they have the ability and the partnership with Love Wrestling to put out extra content in that month in between. So we have something to be interested in and be invested in, and they're being interviewed and the stories are being expanded upon. These are also people like who do promos fairly regularly. So like I see the stuff happening. There is a maintenance of story happening in between the shows, which is more than I can say for some other companies. Like, I mean, we saw some stories get completely blown out of the water at RCW recently, which I'm very disappointed about. And like they're starting to do it with top talent, but I need to see it a little bit more. It can't just always be the flash in the pan matches. We need to see some build. LPW does it fantastically. And I liked the story that was told going into this match in particular. Take us into the stuff that happened after, because it was kind of feeds into this also.
Quick summation of the finish. So Blais gets on the mic, says he wants Larry either fired or he has to wrestle. So he wants to pick his opponent next month. So Spencer agrees to it. Larry agrees to it. So Blais is picking his opponent. From what I hear, sometime this week, or we should hear it this week because Spencer said it had to be chosen by the end of the weekend. And Larry seems to be fine with this. And then Spencer says, but Larry gets to pick your opponent for next month. So
and the stipulation.
And the stipulation. So again, it's like Larry decides for the opponent, it's going to be a lethal lumberjack lottery or something like that. And yeah, it's the fans are going to vote on who gets the shot at Michael Richard Blais.
So stay tuned to our socials for that when that starts coming out. We'll start posting links for that.
I'm just pulling it up right now because it's already out on the Patreon. Always have to go a lot of this stuff to the Patreon first because again, those are people that subscribe. Just trying to pull it up here. Sorry, I didn't have it open and ready because I'm bad at my job. So the 5 choices you have are Maurice Waltz, who has been here before. We saw him last month, teaming up with or was supposed to be here last month, sorry. The team with Jared Rogers replacing Son of Irish.
Oh.
Yeah. Wolfboy Will Mantla.
Okay.
Riley Cruz. Elliot Tyler.
Oh.
And Rose.
Oh.
So those are going to be your 5 choices once it becomes public. If you're our Patreon, go vote right now, please. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be interesting, and then we're going to find out what the stipulation is. Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Depending on which one get picked in there, it would be interesting to see which stipulation is chosen for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because isn't
I,
Rose pretty good at submissions?
Again, all I know is she's really good at beating the piss out of suitcases. That's all I know for sure. She was in that commercial you shared. That was her. That was her in that commercial of the girl in the elevator beating the piss out of the.
That was her? Oh,
That
I
was
didn't
Rose.
even
Yeah,
know that. I just thought it
you
was funny.
you shared it to me. I thought that's why you
I
shared it to me.
I shared it to you because I was like, look, this is me in the morning. Like,
Makes sense. But again, that's Rose. Uh,
okay, well,
yeah.
yeah, but well, maybe it could be a suitcase. Oh, like a coffin match, but a suitcase match. The first person to stuff the person in the suitcase.
Wins.
It's
I guess.
almost
Yeah.
like Yzma. I'll put that flea in a box, and then I'll put that box inside of another box, and then I'll mail it to myself.
All right. We're going to jump over. We're going to give a little bit. They announced the West Edmonton Brawl Saturday, June 15th at the Ice Palace in West Edmonton Mall. We're going to have some LPW at center ice. I'm looking, or I don't know if it's going to be center ice, but it's at the Ice Palace right in the middle of right in the center of West Edmonton Mall. I'm excited. I'm going to be there. I can't wait.
It's not long after my birthday. That'll be a nice, fun little
Ooh,
experience.
I guess what I know. I guess what I know what I'm buying you for your birthday: a ticket to the West Edmonton.
Oh, I was gonna say a Build-A-Bear?
Okay, I can do that too.
I love Build-A-Bear.
Sweet.
It's right
Build a
next to the Ice Palace.
That works. Build a bear
Yeah.
in wrestling. Build a bear in wrestling. Let's do this.
Build-A-Bear in wrestling. Build-A-Bear in wrestling.
So stay tuned to Tixer, the LPW's Tixer page for when the tickets go on sale for this.
Mhm.
Announced already March 28th on the CWS LPW show. It will be Speedball Mike Bailey taking on Nicole Matthews for the first time ever. I am so looking forward to this.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
I'm excited.
Me
And then
too.
and announce at the show, it's Allen Angels, Thickness Reid Matthews. Let's do this. LPW 24. I can't wait for that match. And then announced just today on Sunday that it was out. It was announced as we record this. It's Zoe Sager versus Speedball Mike Bailey for the LPW Challenge
Oh.
Championship. This is looking to be a really good show with those first two matches.
Mhm. Heck yeah, heck yeah.
And then also announced for the show, Artemis Spencer, who I'm so excited to see
Ooh.
back, Rose, who we already talked about, and making a return
Mhm.
to commentary, and she's on the main poster for the show, Veda Scott. So again, I'm super excited for this show. It's gonna be a banger.
Artemis Spencer, he's one of the trainers from that dojo in BC, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's gonna be exciting. He was
Yeah,
at the
and
Clandestine show, the first Clandestine show, right?
him blazing BVD.
Right, right. He was the guy in the silver gear. Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Now I'm excited.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because
Yes.
you haven't seen him here yet. Because he's been with LPW a handful of times, but it was before you started coming. So I'm so excited to see who he wrestles, man. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Is it weird that I selfishly want him in the Scramble match?
No, because I think that would work perfectly.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Well, we've come to the end of another episode of Chop Doc. I almost said NJPW. And it's time to get out of here. You can find me on the X Mastodon, Blue Sky, and Hive at That Canada, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada Dude. You can find me on Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, or on YouTube right here at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, or on this channel if you're watching us at Backbreaker Video. You can also check out all of our Japanese wrestling content over at SundayNightsMainEvent.com or Patreon.com/Asesino Radio. If you are a patron, please go over and check out the long form post show that myself, Dex David, Josiah, and Boris just recorded today off. That's attached to the main show that is up there right now. Check out the Patreon. Please check that out. Please also go over to twitch.tv/our local establishment and support our friends right over there, because you'll see me there. Why 3 times? You're gonna see me 3 days in a row this week on our local establishment. This coming Wednesday, Marvel Talk, MCU Rebound, Thor. Thursday, MLW Intimidation Games Watch Along with Papa Smokes and Mr. Bobby Munson. And then on Friday, me, my girl right here, we're going to be talking the Japanese wrestling update. We're going to go over some stuff from the Wrestling Observer. I got a couple. Right now, I've only got maybe like 2 other articles, things to talk about. And then we're going to talk some New Japan, because some stuff happened that's worth talking about on the Japanese wrestling update this past weekend from New Japan.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. A few things, a handful of things.
And then I got to thank our friend Mike the Ref over at Backbreaker Video for simulcasting all of our stuff. If you're watching us there, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you are, go over and check ours out too, please. I would really appreciate that. If you want to see Mike's live content, go over to twitch.tv/Mike the Ref for his AEW watch alongs on Wednesday and Saturday now. And then you can also find his gaming content throughout the week. And if you want replays of the gaming content, go to youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming, where you can find stuff from him, stuff from Rick Jules, stuff from Mr. PJC, and stuff from the freaking guest, Kayla J.
Kayla J. Love Kayla J. Love Kayla J.
And yeah, Melball. Where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can find her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can find her on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find me on our local establishment, blah, 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 blah. Our local establishment programming, Japanese wrestling update, as Andre mentioned, on Friday. Wow, I got a lot going on Friday. You can also catch me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase, a showcase all about the ladies. And we got some ish we need to talk about. But Astro's on vacation right now, so we're going to talk about that on Friday. What else? What else? If you're wanting to catch a Love Pro Wrestling show, we will leave a link in the description box below. You can go to their website, www.lovewrestling.ca, where you can find links to their tickets, as well as the Clandestine Society training facility, where if you are wanting to train to be a wrestler, you can train with some of the people that we talked today, like Michael Richard Blais, Stephen Crowe, Taryn from accounting, and I think Berat Gorani.
And Zoe Sager.
Yeah, and Zoe Sager.
And one more thing, go over
Ahead.
to
Yes.
independentwrestling.tv to check out the first episode, the show. You can watch it. It's $10 a month to subscribe to this. I think it's 10 American to check that out. A lot of other companies on there. It's not just Love Pro Wrestling. There's so many more companies. Go check them out. It's worth your dollars. Especially with the WrestleMania week coming up, there's a bunch of promotions that are running WrestleMania week that will be that for your $10 will be on the independentwrestling.tv. So please go check them out. We're all looking forward to all hoping for the success of LPW there at independentwrestling.tv.
Is that everything?
That is everything.
Okay. Do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people, Andre?
I just want to thank y'all for coming in here, hanging out with us, listening to us ramble about the professional wrestling that we love. And please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, share us out to your friends, family, enemies, strangers, aliens, people from other dimensions, whatever they are. Please share us out, and don't forget to make sure you comment, because we love talking to you guys. It's a big thing. I love you, Jason.
I can't do the freaking heart. There we go.
Love you, Jason.
Got
Got to give Jason a shout out. He missed the show. He missed both shows. I was kind of mad. Changing it up. So Jason, you better start showing up, buddy. I've seen you at one show so far this year. Let's go, dude. And then don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong. Keep talking about aliens like that. Eli Surge is going to really tear into you and be like giving you your little pointy hat at the next show.
Mm.
That being said, pointy hats and all, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Mwah.